The different hairstyles that you can create with Fiber Effects is really endless. And for this character, I wanted to use a tight curl type setup for the hair. And so I thought we could take a look at how I went about doing this. So I've got I went ahead and cut the head off just for this example, but we could have the whole character because I'm just going to focus on the hair area. Now, if we look at the geometry, it's really light, and I'm going to want more geometry to work with just for the hair, but keep the character itself light. So I'm just going to copy this to layer 2, and I'm going to freeze it so we get a lot more geometry. And the other thing I'm going to do, because I want to take advantage of the pattern that's created with the geometry, is I want to triple it, so Shift T. So now I have a bunch of triangles, and I'm going to take advantage of that triangle pattern. So W for statistics, I'm just going to select that hair, cut, delete, paste. So all that's left is the hair. Now, instead of going into the strand modeler, I'm just going to use strand maker. Click, done. I can go ahead and delete that. That was just junk polys. Cut, paste to layer 2, just kind of cleaning up there. And so now I have hair guides that are in the shape of triangles, which isn't quite a curl, but when we apply Fiber Effects, well, we'll take care of that. The other thing that I'm noticing is that because I cut her head off, I'm just going to center this object so that the head's not floating that high above. Not that that's a matter, not that that's a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and save that, and let's shoot it over to layout. Okay, so grab my camera, just kind of position. We'll get a good look at the head this way. Let's go to perspective view, and I'm just going to get it so that while we're working with the Fiber Effects panel, we can see kind of what's going on. Okay, so that'll give us a good view right there, and our panel can fit here. So let's go ahead and add the Fiber Effects. So Control F8, add pixel filter, fiber filter, double click, and for the layer 2, let's activate it and let's draw it. You can see the triangle pattern that's going on there. I'm going to want a whole lot more than just one fiber per guide, so let's do 40. The other thing that I can do is have more than one cluster, so I'm just going to say 2 clusters, and then I'm going to change the radius to 40 millimeters so that I can kind of spread that out over a larger area, each cluster. Okay. For kink, I'm going to set that to 0. And for splay, now I'm going to use splay, but I need to use this carefully. Even if I go 10, it's too much. Now it gives a neat look, but I'm actually going to bring splay down to 2. Just so I get a little bit, it's going to randomize a little bit, it's going to puff it up a little bit, which is good. For stray, I want 0. We'll go ahead and have some random length. That's worth playing with, though, because you can get some really nice effects that way. And for scale, I'm going to keep it at 100, though you could increase it or decrease it to get different looks. I'm going to go ahead and come over to shadows, and I'm going to turn these down just a little bit. Let's try 30 and 30. We can always come back, or actually, let's just set them at 40, and if we want to, we'll come back and reduce them. Okay, so it looks like we're pretty much set there. I'm going to go ahead and turn on ray trace shadows just so we can get a good look, and let's do a render. Okay, so as you can see, I got a nice curl pattern going on, tight curl pattern, and it was all generated from the guides that were based off of the triangles. I'm just going to kind of zoom in so we can have a look. See the loop shape? Just because the guide is set at just because the guide is very linear and it was a perfect triangle doesn't mean that the hair has to be that way. By having some fiber smooth on, we're actually curling that shape based on the guides. So as you can see, I was able to generate a very tight curl pattern on this character with very little work, taking advantage of the strand maker. That's one use of strand maker, is to do this tight curl pattern just based off the triangles. So just another example of one of the many different hairstyles that you can create using Fiber Effects in Lightwave.